In modern warfare, a fixed airbase is nothing more than a sitting duck for long-range missiles. To survive the next major conflict, NATO is pivoting away from massive runways and toward a radical new strategy, the highway strip. This single standardized maintenance pod is the secret to turning any road into a high-tech fighter base in minutes. Greatest threat to air superiority isn't a better enemy jet, it's a logistical nightmare that leaves planes grounded. By standardizing the Gripen's ruggedized maintenance pod, NATO has finally solved the puzzle of rapid deployment in contested airspace. This is how ground support has become the most decisive weapon for keeping fighters in the sky when the main bases are gone. What if the future of the world's most powerful air force didn't depend on stealth or speed, but on a mobile box? NATO's adoption of the Gripen maintenance pod marks a massive shift in how we prepare for decentralized combat. Discover why this ruggedized technology is the only thing standing between sustained air operations and total operational collapse during a frontline invasion.
Imagine being responsible for protecting aircraft worth tens of millions of dollars. You have advanced radar, powerful missiles, highly trained pilots, and some of the best fighter jets ever built. But late at night, one thought refuses to leave your mind. What happens if the enemy already knows exactly where those aircraft are parked? That fear is no longer theoretical. In June 2025, Ukraine's Operation Spider's Web used small drones hidden near Russian airbases to attack strategic aircraft thousands of kilometers from the front line. Then, in July 2026, Russian authorities claimed they had disrupted another attempted operation involving drones allegedly intended for attacks against distant airbases in the Urals and Far East. Whether every claim made by either side can be independently confirmed or not, the strategic warning is unmistakable. Distance alone can no longer protect a military airbase. Modern warfare has changed. A massive airbase filled with fuel tanks, maintenance buildings, ammunition storage areas, and aircraft shelters may look powerful, but from an enemy's perspective, it can also look like one enormous target. This is why a relatively small Swedish fighter may have already revealed one of the most important secrets of future air warfare. That fighter is the Saab Gripen. For decades, air forces concentrated their aircraft at large permanent bases because these locations provided everything: long runways, repair facilities, fuel, weapons, spare parts, computers, and experienced ground crews. But concentration also creates vulnerability. Long-range missiles, inexpensive drones, satellite imagery, and modern surveillance systems allow an opponent to locate important infrastructure before a war even begins.
Destroy the runway, damage the fuel storage, strike the maintenance facilities, or block the taxiways, and even surviving aircraft may struggle to return to combat. This is where the concept known as Agile Combat Employment, or ACE, becomes essential. Instead of operating every aircraft from a few predictable bases, ACE distributes aircraft, personnel, fuel, and weapons across multiple temporary locations. In simple words, the enemy should never be completely certain where your fighters will land, refuel, or launch their next mission. In my opinion, this uncertainty may become as valuable as stealth technology itself. A stealth aircraft is difficult to detect in the air, but a dispersed air force is difficult to eliminate on the ground. Sweden began developing its road-based strategy during the Cold War. Swedish planners understood that their permanent military airfields could be attacked early in a conflict. Their answer was to spread aircraft across hidden bases, highways, and smaller operating locations. The aircraft therefore had to be designed around this strategy. It needed to use short and relatively narrow road sections, operate in harsh weather, and most importantly, be serviced without a giant maintenance organization following it everywhere. According to Saab, the Gripen support system allows an air-to-air turnaround, including refueling and rearming, in less than 10 minutes using one qualified technician and 5 conscript mechanics. Saab also says that the equipment needed to support 2 Gripen aircraft during a 2-week mission can fit inside a standard 20-foot container. Major work, including an engine replacement, can reportedly be completed in approximately 1 hour. The fighter can also operate from a road strip measuring roughly 800 meters by 16 meters, far smaller than a conventional military runway. Think about what that means. A small team, several vehicles, fuel, weapons, and a compact support package could turn an ordinary road into a temporary fighter location. The aircraft arrives, the team inspects it, fuel goes in, weapons are loaded, mission data is updated, and within minutes, the fighter disappears back into the sky. By the time the enemy confirms the location, the aircraft may already be gone.
There is no reliable public evidence that NATO has ordered every member to adopt one universal Gripen-style maintenance pod. However, NATO is clearly moving toward the same operational objective: greater standardization, cross-servicing, and dispersed air operations. In May 2026, Finland conducted Imminent Field 26, an exercise focused on highway-based and dispersed flying operations. During Ramstein Flag 2026, German and Finnish personnel trained in aircraft cross-servicing, allowing qualified ground teams from one country to support aircraft belonging to another. NATO had already demonstrated similar cooperation in 2025, when Polish and British personnel supported the refueling of Swedish fighters. This does not mean a Rafale, Gripen, and F-35 suddenly use identical tools for every maintenance task. It means NATO is working toward common procedures, compatible equipment, shared fuel standards, and trained personnel who can support allied aircraft when their normal bases or crews are unavailable. NATO's own logistics policy says standardization is central to interoperability. Through common agreements and procedures, allied forces can operate together more effectively. That may sound less dramatic than a new missile or fighter jet, but logistics can decide whether those weapons are available when they are needed. A fighter without fuel is a display aircraft. A fighter without weapons is an expensive reconnaissance platform. And a fighter that cannot be repaired after one mission may contribute very little to a prolonged war.
Now, imagine an enemy planning an opening attack. Under the traditional model, intelligence analysts might identify 3 or 4 major airbases. They could monitor those locations, map the shelters, and prepare missiles for specific coordinates. But a distributed force changes the problem. The aircraft might operate from a military airfield today, a civilian airport tomorrow, and a highway section the next morning. Fuel trucks may move at night, maintenance equipment may be concealed among ordinary vehicles, and ground crews may relocate before enemy satellites pass overhead. Instead of targeting 4 obvious bases, the enemy must consider hundreds or even thousands of possible operating locations. The goal is not to make every road a permanent airbase. The goal is to create enough possible locations that targeting the Air Force becomes slow, expensive, and uncertain. NATO's highway exercises in Finland show that this is not merely a Swedish historical idea. It is becoming part of modern Allied training. The next stage could be even more disruptive. In the future, compact support packages may operate alongside autonomous cargo vehicles, unmanned refueling systems, and drone teams responsible for surveillance, air defense, and runway inspection. Small drones could inspect road surfaces before a landing. Autonomous vehicles could deliver fuel or weapons without exposing large numbers of personnel. Decoy equipment could create false operating locations, forcing the enemy to waste surveillance resources and expensive missiles.
This is my personal assessment. Future air superiority will not belong only to the country with the fastest aircraft or the longest range missile. It may belong to the country that can move, repair, refuel, rearm, and relaunch its aircraft faster than the enemy can locate them. The Gripen's greatest lesson may not be found in its radar, engine, or weapons. It is found in the systems surrounding the aircraft. Sweden designed a fighter force that expected its major bases to be attacked. It prepared to survive by becoming smaller, faster, and less predictable. Today, NATO's Agile Combat Employment exercises, highway operations, and aircraft cross-servicing programs suggest that other air forces are reaching a similar conclusion. In modern warfare, a powerful air force cannot simply be strong. It must be difficult to find, difficult to stop, and above all, capable of disappearing, reorganizing, and striking again. What do you think? Will distributed highway operations become the new standard for NATO air power, or are permanent air bases still too important to replace? Share your opinion in the comments, and for more original defense analysis, aviation technology, and the latest military air power updates, like this video and subscribe to Skyjet Wings, because the future of air warfare is already taking shape, and we are watching it happen.